Hello there. If you are a smoker or know one, this video may help a lot. Hi, my name is Don, the founder and creator of Goodbye Cigs. This is a quit smoking program that I created for myself as I was in dire need of a method to quit smoking cigarettes that would actually work for me. I had had it with the normal way of quitting smoking. Cold turkey. I had to find out why quitting smoking was so hard and why isn't there an easier way to quit. I needed a much easier way to quit smoking, and there had to be one. Yes, you could say this system is all about me. I have been sitting around tonight looking at many different quit smoking systems, and I noticed surprising similarities in them. Here are some things that they help smokers with. How to overcome cigarette cravings. How to fight the temptation to smoke. How to cope with withdrawal symptoms. How to deal with relapses. It looks like on the surface they have very admirable goals. But there is something about each of their goals that bothers me a great deal. They have made the idea of quitting smoking a fight. They make it a fight between you and the effects of nicotine, which are cravings, temptations to smoke, withdrawal symptoms, and relapses. It is like most systems put you in the boxing ring as a lightweight, and you are fighting a losing battle with a heavyweight. It looks like from the way they match a person up with the opponent, addiction to cigarettes, that you must fight against all these strengths of the addiction opponent. Of course, they have some mediocre ways for smokers to deal with being overpowered from the start, but I don't see how anyone trying the usual ways of quitting smoking has an easy time of it. It appears to be fight, and then fight all day every day. Does it seem like that to you as well? Most of the smokers that are trying to quit, like in these quit smoking groups on various social media channels, are severely stressed out. They often can barely make it a day or two without smoking, and learn nothing that gives them an edge in the process. I know about this because I have been there. More than once. I always thought it would be easy to quit smoking and I would do that just in time before I got sick or something. I think many people think like this. 3 times I had decided to quit smoking. I used every method I knew about, and I lost every single time. Nothing worked. Even though each time I tried to quit, I put more oomph into it, still to no avail. No wonder people have to try to finally quit smoking. I had no idea why quitting smoking was so dang hard to do. I mean, learning calculus was easier than this. I didn't know it at the time, but the reason I wasn't making headway in quitting smoking was actually pretty simple. I didn't understand the enemy. That means I didn't understand what I was up against. Example. Wanting to quit smoking is like learning how to run a marathon, learning to become a weightlifter, learning to play guitar, learning to be good at chess, poker, bowling, basketball, business, art, you name it. Everything worth doing takes time. It is not hard to get very good at things, you just don't do it overnight. That's what everyone does, and that's why they fail and end up giving up. This is the key realization you as a smoker have to make. Nothing else will do. I say that because if you start with this premise, you will look for methods of quitting that give you an edge in every category of this quit smoking venture. Let's compare what most quit smoking programs concentrate on versus what Goodbye Cigs does. How to overcome cigarette cravings. Goodbye Cigs has the best way. We don't get them. How to fight the temptation to smoke. Goodbye Cigs has the best way. We can smoke every cigarette we want and still quit smoking. How to cope with withdrawal symptoms. Goodbye Cigs has the best way. We don't get withdrawal symptoms. How to deal with relapses. Goodbye Cigs has the best way. We rarely get relapses. Instead of fighting each one of these powerful problems, we avoid them completely. With Goodbye Cigs, the goal is to get good at the quit smoking process. Think, how do you get good at something? First, you understand why you want to do it. Then you learn what the obstacles are. You slowly build up your knowledge, skills, and methods that make learning this new thing as easy as possible. Most quit smoking systems introduce unnecessary obstacles. Here is one. Want to quit smoking? Are you addicted to nicotine? Great, why not take more? Buy these patches and these lozenges filled with nicotine. Then let's see you quit nicotine. This should never be the first thing you do. You would never ever try to run a marathon on the first day of trying, would you? No one would ever do that. But smokers do that all the time, don't they? Cold turkey is about the lamest way to quit smoking ever, and yet that seems to be the #1 choice. So here is what I did. I listed all the things I didn't like about all the quit smoking systems I had tried. Then I wrote down a fix for those problems, so that I would get the good result I wanted, but without the pain in doing it the usual way. I read through my list of what to do and when, and thought it would work. But then, a horrible thought came to mind. Here I am creating my quit smoking system, and what if it fails? Everyone will laugh and criticize me for even trying to do it on my own. That idea hit me pretty hard because I didn't want to get laughed at. I sat with that thought for a while, then realized something. Actually, few people would know I failed, and fewer would care because no one would ever expect me to create a better way to quit smoking, right? So that means I probably would not get ridiculed and criticized. After that realization, I was happy again. So now, it was time to think about when to try the system. At the time I was in college, I was taking a class in statistics. In that class we were using math and the results to prove things. Usually if something worked or did not work, based on statistics. One thing I knew for sure, if you are going to prove if something works or not, you can either prove it works and find info that supports that outcome, or you can prove it doesn't work. That's what I chose. To prove this system didn't work. But to do that, you have to follow the rules closely because you want to know for sure if it works if you follow the system. So that's what I did. I followed my system completely, mainly because I didn't want to have to test it again to find out why it failed. I wanted to give it every chance of working, so I did follow the system step by step, and that wasn't hard. Findings. The first thing I noticed was that within the first 3 days, the system got easier to do. Wow, not expected. And as days went by, it was easier and easier to put cigarettes off, to say no to them, to smoke the ones I felt I needed, and never did I ever feel deprived. This happened pretty quickly. I would say within the first 7 days I became totally convinced I would be quitting for good, and that opinion never changed. I don't think I mentioned this yet, but this is basically a 30-day quit smoking system. Some people will want to use it longer. In my case, I badly needed to quit smoking. I reached the point where I had smoked only 1 or 2 cigarettes each day for a while. Then, at the end of the 4th week, I was not smoking any cigarettes. I was putting them off for the whole day, so I continued to put the next cigarette off day after day for a couple of months. It was easy to do. Probably because of all the practice and low amounts of nicotine in my body, therefore not needing any. So I kept in the mindset of putting cigarettes off but never admitting I had quit. The reason I did that was, I didn't want to lower my guard, get complacent, and slide back into smoking. When I reached 6 months of not smoking, I decided to go ahead and admit that I had quit, and I quit being worried I would start again. It was a big sigh of relief to finally be able to say, I quit. Most people will not need to put off admitting they have quit smoking for months on end like I did. The reason is, this was a new way to quit smoking, a different approach, and I wanted to give my system every chance to succeed. I wanted to be absolutely sure the system worked for me, before I started telling people I had quit smoking. Also, I wanted to be sure there weren't any unknown gotchas that would arise months after having quit smoking and make me start again. Good news, that did not happen at all. Having said no maybe 1,000 times to smoking cigarettes plus eliminating all the nicotine out of my system, gave me the power to not only quit smoking, but stay quit. The same can happen for you. Also, the fact that the dopamine you get from smoking gets replaced by the dopamine by saying no to a cigarette and winning. That's why it's good to get a treat often when you put off a cigarette. So, for the goodbye cig system, quitting smoking is not a major problem of willpower, mind over matter, trying to fight strong mental and physical urges or anything of the sort. Instead, quitting can become sort of fun. I think it became fun for me because I was able to say no to cigarettes many times, and was able to smoke any cigarette I wanted also. So I never felt deprived or stressed, yet I was aware that I was always losing nicotine in my body, and always getting better at putting off cigarettes. This is what you must do to quit smoking using any method. So why not make it as easy as possible on yourself? I literally was winning every day and it felt good. You can do it too. We at GoodbyeCigs.com will show you what you do every time you want a cigarette. And any other time, you don't need to think about quitting. We show you how, once a smoking situation comes up, what to do. Then go back to your day with no worries or stress. This is a very simple solution. Lower your nicotine levels slowly. Put off lighting up slowly. Take your time and don't stress. You will get there. I created this Goodbye Cig system in 1992. I never wanted a cigarette at any time since then. When you are a non-smoker, you never miss smoking. I am proof of that. As of this video, that was 32 years ago. I have regained lost time from smoking. You can too. For more information, go to goodbyecigs.com. That's goodbyecigs.com. Thank you.